alumnus is like a library of wisdom. She always ready to share knowledge and insights. So with this quote, I Abhishek.
Hi Rohan Asodaria. Welcomes to you all to our new episode of Irasa. So we have Mr. Bharat Ram sir, who are eminent alumnus of batch 1984.
So join us as we explore more about Bharat Ram sir's knowledge, insights and the valuable experience that we have. May I request Mr. Swayam Kothari, Joint General Secretary of Management Students Forum, to felicitate Bharat Ram sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
How's the feeling of coming here after so long time in faculty?
I'm here exactly 40 years after I joined this institution in 1986. You can imagine 40 years is a long time, and I'm absolutely delighted and honored to be here today. Absolutely delighted. That's the only feeling I can tell you.
So sir, we move to the first segment, that's education section.
Okay.
Sir, we know about you that you are a school captain and a vice president. So how at that time your skill developed that is influenced you in your professional journey?
You see, I was the school captain. The school was a girls' school. There were only about 20 boys and about 500 girls. So I was a captain of a girls' school. It so happened that I became the captain of a girls' school. But that is not important. I was also the vice president of the Interact Club. Interact Club is the junior Rotary Club. Okay. If you take up leadership roles at a younger age, it shows that you are interested in leadership. Okay. You may or may not achieve much as school captain because you are regulated by the regulations, you're guided by the regulations of the school. But if you have taken up leadership roles in the beginning, it shows the person who's recruiting you at a later point of time that this person has interest in leadership roles. So to that extent, being the school captain or being the vice president of the Interact Club added value to my resume in the initial years, only in the initial years, because in the later years, nobody looks at all these kind of achievements. It's only a work achievement which matters. Okay.
Sir, you opt marketing in your MBA. So you decided that you want marketing prior to take admission or after taking admission you decided?
You know, the question you asked is a very important question. I don't even know whether I should have done my MBA in the first place. Marketing is a secondary question. Okay. So I stumbled into an MBA because at that point of time there was no internet available. Internet came into India only 1995. So there was no ready access to information. There was no ready access to psychometric assessment of my personality. What am I interested in? There were very few options available. Law was one option, CA was one option, MBA was one option, engineering was another option, and medicine was another option. So there were very few options available. From the options available, it appeared to me that a commercial line was most suitable to me. I've always been an introvert. So MBA marketing should have been the last preference because MBA marketing is for somebody who is more of an extrovert. So if you ask me, in hindsight, it was not even a good decision to do an MBA. And to do MBA marketing was the worst decision. I should have never done it. Okay, but having done it, I've made it a reasonable success. Okay, reasonable. But had it been a better career choice, I would have probably done better. But I just made the best of a bad bargain. If I have got to rewind my life 40 years back, and if I have all the opportunities that are available to me, I will probably not do a management program. Okay, I will do something else. I'll do hairdressing. I'll do something else. I'll do photography. I'll do something else. But I will definitely not doing MBA marketing because the core of an MBA marketing, the core subjects. What are the core subjects? Sales, okay, some amount of advertising, okay. Those core subjects of a 2-year MBA marketing can be learnt in 6 months. The core, okay. If you remove your organization behavior and all those subjects really did not directly add value, it added value indirectly, okay. It made me a well-rounded personality because I understood those subjects. But the core of an MBA marketing, the core subjects can be learnt in 6 months. And if I have to rewind, I would probably, there's so many options available now, I will probably not do an MBA. Okay, but having done that MBA marketing program, now I don't regret it. Okay.
So, sir, please share your memorable moments that you done that made you cherish in the faculty.
Oh, memorable moments. There were many memorable moments. I remember for a marketing research exam, we were allowed an open book exam. We were allowed to bring in whatever books we wanted. We were allowed to sit wherever we wanted in the building, and we were allowed to talk to anyone we wanted. So I had a colleague, not a colleague, a fellow student, who came with one full suitcase of books. Okay, he went and sat alone in some place, and we started at 9 o'clock. He finished at 5 when all of us had left. There was nobody left. The guy who came first finished his paper in 3 hours. And I don't know, I'm sure he did not come first, but probably he was somewhere at the bottom. Okay. If he sees this, he's going to be very, very upset. But nevertheless, it was a very interesting episode that, somebody coming into the faculty with one suitcase full of books. Because if you're not prepared, where do you look in which book on which page? You don't know. Really, it's useless. Exactly, how to find. So you have to be really prepared with your subject. You should have read your books. A book which you open for the first time is really useless if it comes to an exam. So this is interesting thing that I encountered during the. Of course, the whole process was very interesting at that point because we were the first batch, and the curriculum was not 100% set. Okay, the processes were not 100% set. The number of professors available was not 100% set. So we had some teachers from the IIM, Professor Dalal for marketing. So we really had some very good professors and who taught us really well. Some very good external faculty who did a fantastic job. So overall, all in all, it was very exciting.
So, sir, if you get a chance to change the MBA curriculum, what change it would be?
You see, I cannot change the MBA curriculum. I will say I will not do an MBA. Okay, but I cannot change it. See, MBA curriculum is a very well thought out curriculum. Okay, unlike a CA, which is focused on numeric ability. Okay, which is focused on the rules of accounting, which are very strict. You have to follow those rules. In MBA marketing, there is nothing fixed. You can read something and implement something else. It is all creativity led. Sales is a process, but you can be very creative. So you don't have to be very regulated. That is the beauty of an MBA versus a CA or some other financial program. So I would say I cannot change the curriculum because the curriculum is vast, it is well researched, it is comprehensive.
सर आपके पास अभी मोर देन 35 इयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस है, सो कोई ऐसी चीज है आपके पास कि ये मैंने शायद एमबीए में पढ़ी होती तो अच्छा होता?
नहीं, ऐसी मैं देखिए हमारे पास तब इतने सब्जेक्ट्स थे और आज भी इतने सब्जेक्ट्स हैं कि उसमें कुछ ऐड करना या उसको कुछ ऐड या डिलीट करना वो इतना इट हैज टू बी अ वेल थॉट आउट. आई कैन नॉट से ऑफ द कफ ये होना चाहिए ये नहीं होना चाहिए. आई डोंट थिंक आई वुड नॉट लाइक टू टिंकर with a curriculum which has been established through experience over a number of years. Okay, I don't like to tinker. But what I would like to say is that if you think there is something missing, you do that separately on your own. Okay, don't say that my MBA doesn't have it, you do it. Business intelligence, if your MBA doesn't have it, you do it outside. Okay, so I don't think I will ever tinker with anything, but I will If I want to add something, I will add it on my own. Yeah.
So, sir, one skill or many skills that you acquired during your MBA that is still with you.
Many MBA skills which are still with me. As an introvert, I was not interested in meeting people. I think this MBA program pushed me into being more of an extrovert because you had to do so many things. Okay, you had to meet so many new people every day. Your classmates were from different parts of the country. Okay, uh, we had Mr. Vinod Babbar. He was an IAS officer. Okay, so he was heads and shoulders above anyone because he had administrative experience in the government of Gujarat. So he was of a different caliber. Then there were guys like Anthony Joseph who are extremely well read. Do you know him? Yeah, he can speak on nuclear science. He can speak on prehistoric Stone Age. So he can really speak on everything. Okay, so you had to deal with those people. So it definitely made you an extrovert, and I think that is a single most contribution of my MBA program. Of course, the curriculum was there in its place, which everyone learned. But what I learned personally was the ability to be more of an extrovert, to be able to deal with people. I think that was the internship helped a lot. Okay, to tackle people, to deal with them nicely, to get the information that you want. I think dealing with people was the most important skill that I learned in the MBA program.
Actually, I was also introvert before I'm joining this college.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's a very, very simple that an MBA can do. A CA can't do because the CA you are still buried in the accounting books, but in MBA you are not buried in the accounting books. Yeah.
What advice you supposed to give to the students who are entering the real world as a fresher? What
As a fresher, when you enter the real corporate world, number one, you have to be professional in whatever you do. Okay, you have to generate trust. You have to get people to trust you. How will you get people to trust you? By behaving ethically, professionally. You have to work very, very hard. You have to prove your worth to the company every day. Your job is not assured. So you have to prove your worth to the company every day. That is the only message I can give. Work very, very hard. Okay, and prove your worth to the company. The company should say, this is a person I would like to have for a long time. That is only real advice I can give.
So before we start the second segment, that is professional journey, we just take some brief about Bharat Ram. So Bharat Ram has a strong background in textile and design industry. He currently serves as a director at Rohleder East since 2019. Prior to this role, he held senior positions such as senior vice president and business head at Sutlej Textile Industry Limited and chief operating officer at Raid and Taylor India Limited, and general manager of sales at Arvind Lifestyle Brands Limited, among the others.
Sir, as you have more years of experience, so many companies you have experience. So, what is the ideal work culture that create productivity towards the company?
An ideal work culture doesn't exist.
Yes.
There is no ideal work culture. Okay, there will be problems in every work culture, but an ideal work culture is where the employee works very hard, he is completely focused on his work, and the employer gives him the freedom or her the freedom to do that work. That's the ideal thing, but don't expect any idealism anywhere. Okay, you can try for it, but you won't get it.
So, sir, according to you, how important are work ethics in a professional life?
100%. If you if you have 99% of work ethics, it means you have very poor work ethics.
Yes.
You have to have either 100%. If you don't have 100%, you have zero. So you can't say I'm almost honest. Almost doesn't work. You have to be 100%. There is no option also. There is no option. You cannot compromise on your work ethics even under stress, under pressure, under whatever. You have to be 100% honest to yourself, and you have to be 100% honest to your work, and you have to be 100% honest to your employer. There is no way out.
So, as we all know, there is a 4 years ago, there is a period of COVID-19. We all suffered from it. Every industry has suffered from it. So, what is the impact on textile industry? What challenges you face in the textile industry?
You know, this company Rohleder, we started operation in February 2020, and in March 2020 we shut it down. It was an extremely challenging time because nobody had dealt with it before. If the company was an established company in the business, they could have managed because the customers are known, the systems and processes are in place, but we had nothing in place. We had to look for customers, and we could not look for customers during COVID time, so it was an extremely challenging time. It was a very, very difficult challenge to handle, especially for a new company.
So, sir, कोविड-19 के बारे में आपने बताया. So, what is the current state of textile industry? अभी क्या चल रहा है textile industry?
टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री तो अच्छा चल रहा है. टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री इज पार्ट ऑफ द रोटी कपड़ा मकान ट्रिलॉजी. टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री जब तक रोटी है तब तक कपड़ा भी रहेगा.
But
तो वो टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री इज एन इंडस्ट्री व्हिच विल नॉट गोइंग टू गो अवे. It will stay. And India has a competitive advantage. If you read the study of Michael Porter, which was done 30 years back, he said, Michael Porter was a Harvard or Stanford or one of those university professors. He said India has a competitive advantage in the textile space. So India will continue to have competitive advantage, and Indian textile industry will continue to do well because we have a very deep root. For over the last 500,000-700,000 years, I don't know how long, but we have very deep roots in the textile business. There are many diverse kinds of textile in India, and Indians are now beginning to attire well and to dress up well. So this is a very bright segment in the Indian industry, textile market.
As you say, there is a deep root of textile. Is this because of the agriculture? We grow more and
more. Yeah, we grow a lot of cotton, but we have a tradition of weaving. Okay, from handlooms to power looms to mill, we have a very deep family involvement in the textile industry. Okay, so Indian textile industry will do extremely well in the coming years.
But sir, there is many competition. I recently read an article. There is a Rohleder in Ahmedabad. There is a government established a textile park. So the competition arises after the export. Another countries are also doing the same thing, promoting textile. So as a old business owner or a new business owner, there is a perfect competition happening. So is this concern for you or not?
No concern. We are a country of 1.4 billion people. All 1.4 billion people need clothes. Correct?
Yes.
Somebody needs expensive clothes, somebody needs less expensive clothes, but we all need to be attired. I don't think, you see, the textile industry, people keep writing off the Indian textile industry every 20 years. But the Indian textile industry cannot be written off. It is very powerful, it is very strong, and there are some extremely good players in the Indian textile space. So my guess is that I am just skimming the surface, okay, but to answer your question, the Indian textile industry will continue to do well. I mean, once you, let's say, all graduate, you will spend more on clothes.
Yes, sir.
Without any doubt. You will have office clothes, travel clothes, night clothes, all kinds of clothes, no? You have to spend on clothes. AI is not going to affect the sales of textiles. It may affect the production of textiles, not the sales of textiles. Yeah.
कितना भी बड़ा AI आ जाएगा, लेकिन रोटी कपड़ा मकान को replace
exactly, नहीं कर सकता. अभी तो नहीं कर सकता. हाँ.
Sir, you worked in India and abroad as well. So, what is the fundamental difference you found between work culture wise India and the?
So I have not worked abroad, as in I have not been based abroad, but I have traveled abroad frequently on work. So I can tell you uh, that there is a lot of difference in the work culture between some of the foreign companies and Indian companies. Indian companies are very jugadu, which means अभी तो काम करा कर लो कैसे भी, वहां पे वो जुगाड़ नहीं चलता है. Okay, you have to follow a system and you have to follow a process. It takes longer, but that they do things the right way. I am not saying all Indian companies are jugadu. I am not saying that. I am saying as an Indian myself, we say fix this now. कैसे भी fix करो, बाद में देखते हैं. वैसा नहीं है. A European company, if they find a problem, they will get a long-term solution to fix it. In the short term, they will suffer, but here we will fix it first, and the long-term consequences we will examine later.
Yes.
So that is the single most difference between a European company and an Indian company. I am not again saying all companies, some companies. We all have the mindset, na, जुगाड़ू mindset. जुगाड़ करके कर दो, बाद में देखते हैं. So I think this जुगाड़ mindset is not a good mindset. We have to do things the proper way, even if it takes a little more time, even if it takes a little more cost.
Sir, ethic wise, you found any difference?
100%. 100% there is ethics. In India, a company will have a team of accountants to check when you travel, is your travel expense in line with the company policy. आपने यहाँ क्यों 5 रुपया ज्यादा किया, उधर 10 रुपया क्यों ज्यादा किया? This is the Indian mindset. I am not saying right or wrong. This is a mindset. But in an overseas company, they don't ask. If you say you spent this, they agree you spent this. They don't have a team of accountants to examine every statement. They don't have it. They have no time or energy or inclination. So what you say is what they accept. So it is so important in India. You might say something. I'm again saying not everywhere, but you might say something. Say, हाँ वो पकड़ेगा तो हम बोल देंगे हाँ गलती हो गया something. But there, if you make one mistake like that, they will start they will be very suspicious of you. They will not trust you anymore. Finished. It's all over. So you have to be very, very honest. India is also moving towards it. Indian companies are also moving towards it. So, but today there is a lot of suspicion that if I went on a travel, that I am over accounting the travel. Okay. Whether I am or not is a different matter, but the thing, उसने उसको क्या है गड़बड़, वहाँ नहीं सोचते, वहाँ नहीं सोचते, उनके पास टाइम ही नहीं है सोचने का.
वो सही बात. This question is not regarding to textile or this is general perspective. कई लोगों को लगता है कि AI के आ जाने की वजह से हमारी जॉब्स को खतरा है. कई लोगों को AI बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि काम आसान हो रहा है. So what is your perspective regarding the AI?
If companies can use AI to replace jobs or to close positions, they will use AI and close positions. Why would they pay one salary if they can do with a AI tool? So some jobs are definitely in danger. Okay, there is, make no mistakes about it. In what way and how long it will take to happen, I don't know. So today, a blue collar job, you know, a blue collar job, a blue collar job is safer than a white collar job, because the AC cannot be replaced by repaired by an AI. Okay, somebody has to come and fix it.
Yes.
So I would say, if you have good engineering skills, please develop some of these skills and keep it as a standby, because we don't know how it is possible that new jobs will emerge. Okay, replacing the old jobs. Telecalling is definitely dead, because telecalling will now be done by AI. Okay, call center jobs will be dead, because call center jobs will be done by AI. Be safe where the jobs can be saved despite AI, and where you are the user of the AI and not the victim of the AI.
Sir, suppose you are right now in a young age, so how you take benefit from this AI?
I use AI every day in all my work. Earlier, I mean, you know how to use Excel. If you're not a smart guy with Excel, Excel is a very difficult tool. But now you just tell AI, this is what I want. It gives you the formula. You don't have to remember complex Excel formulas. Life is so easy. I can make a sketch. If I want to draw a sketch, I can tell Bing, please make the sketch. Give a 2-line prompt and make a sketch. So life is definitely exciting. Okay, it is definitely exciting. Only you have to be on top of AI. AI should not be on top of you. Yeah.
हमारा पर्सनल स्टूडेंट्स का एक्सपीरियंस भी है कि ये है कि आने से पहले हम पीपीटी बनाते तो उससे अभी जो बनाते उसमें मोर देन 75% टाइम बचता है
बचता है ना?
बिकॉज ऑफ के आ जाने की वजह से
हाँ.
और एक ये चीज थी कि हर रोज दुनिया में मोर देन 200 एक्सरेस होते हैं, सो रेडियोलॉजिस्ट सर्वे करते हैं, जो अभी एक रेडियोलॉजिस्ट का अमेरिकन डॉलर के हिसाब से $15 पर एक्सरे स्टडी कर रहे थे. अभी एआई के आ जाने की वजह से it's quite only 15 set it takes, but it's not still accurate due to some technical issue or I guess more. But if doctor's job is also in not safe, danger.
Yeah.
So it's
Diagnostics. Now Google has developed an iris scan. You would have heard of it. It can scan your iris and tell you your entire medical history.
Yeah.
So yeah, diagnostic job is in danger. Every job is in danger, not just that. Every job is in danger. You have to be able to use it properly.
So, sir, how important to take a sabbatical in a professional life? Is it necessary for an individual?
You should take a sabbatical, because a sabbatical is a time after, let us say, 10 years of working day in and day out. You need a break, but that break cannot be a holiday. It has to be. It has to renew yourself. Renew yourself mentally. Renew yourself with greater and better tools, and to reassess your future. It is like the batsman taking guard. Okay, after 100, no, he takes fresh guard. You have to take fresh guard. You have to take fresh guard and reassess your goals. You have to take a sabbatical if you can afford it. Not everyone can afford it. Huh? If you think it is right to take a sabbatical, you should take a sabbatical. But if it is not right, you should not take a sabbatical. Okay? But even without taking a sabbatical, you should be able to do all that you do during a sabbatical. Reassess your goals, priorities, talents, requirements, everything you've got to reassess. I think it is essential.
Sir, there is one quote that book is judged by its cover. So, how grooming is important for a marketing person?
100% important. 100%. I know I have rejected candidates because when they were sitting there, I saw them, I said, "Oh, mere ko nahi chahiye." No, because first I need a good, not good looking,
well grown.
well groomed. If they are not well groomed, I say, look, he knows or she knows they are here for a marketing job. They know that they are going to meet people. So, which means an essential component is to be presentable. If you are not presentable, why would I wear? You may be very good, but you have to be presentable first, because you are taking with you the image of the company. The other person is forming an image of the company based on their interaction with you. So you say, oh, this shabby person has come, means they'll say, oh, this company is not so great. So it is a very superficial assessment, but it is an important assessment. Okay, yeah. A book is always judged by its cover. If the cover is not interesting, you will not buy it. Unless somebody says, नहीं नहीं खरीदो खरीदो, मैं बोल रहा हूँ अच्छा है. इतना सब persuasion चाहिए.
Road to wisdom, sir. So, first question is, sir, what is the best investment you done in your life till today? In terms of money or time, anything?
The best investments, not one, but many good investments. Number one, I buy a lot of books and I read a lot of books. Earlier it used to be physical books. Now there is no space to keep the physical books, so I on electronic books. I read a lot of books, and I read a lot of books on variety of subjects. So it is not restricted to management at all. In fact, I don't read any management books. Biographies, autobiographies, and many other subjects like ancient history. Okay, some of these are subjects which interest me. So reading, definitely. I invest a lot on books. I have invested a lot in developing my hobbies. One of the hobbies is photography. Over the last 12, 13 years, I have invested a lot in learning good photography techniques. I'm interested mainly in landscape photography. So I've invested a lot, and I think you need some continuous investments to ensure that you have some work to do after you retire from corporate life. Because at some point of time, unless you're an entrepreneur and unless you have your own company, you will retire. And even if you don't retire, you will not want to work. Okay, so you have to be prepared for both the situations. So you have to build your skills. So I have built up my skills in developing some of these hobbies. There are many of them, and I've built it to a level where I can monetize it if I so desire.
हमारे ऑडियंस में से कई ऐसे लोग हैं जो जिसको बुक रीडिंग का इम्पोर्टेंस पता है लेकिन उसके पास हैबिट नहीं है बुक रीड करने की, तो वो हैबिट कैसे डेवलप करे यार? वो कौन सी पहली बुक है जिससे वो बुक रीड करना स्टार्ट करे?
उनको कोई तो सब्जेक्ट में इंटरेस्ट होगा. आपका अभी हंसा मेहता लाइब्रेरी है क्या? हंसा मेहता लाइब्रेरी इज इंडियाज फाइनेस्ट लाइब्रेरी. Please, and I think it's free for students.
Yes,
it's free.
Yeah.
So if you don't make use of Hansa Mehta library, then you are losing a big opportunity. Read, I'm saying read fairy tales to build your habit. Read simple books. Read story books which people of class 11 and 12 read. Read that. I am telling you, if you read books, your knowledge will increase, your vocabulary will increase, your writing ability will increase, because you see how good authors write. And you don't have to read difficult books. Read simple books. Read Grimm's fairy tales. Read Enid Blyton. I read that when I was in class 5. But I'm saying, if you don't like reading books, read those books. Because Enid Blyton wrote in very good English and very simple English and very good stories. Read that. Read simple books and build up your appetite for reading books. Okay, but you can start with simple books. Books you can read in 2 hours, finished. 1 Sunday, 2 hours, thin books. Read it.
बट ऐसा कि इंटरनेट के आ जाने के बाद और मतलब इंटरनेट सस्ता होने के बाद बुक का क्रेज थोड़ा डाउनफॉल आया.
हाँ, होगा. बुक का क्रेज डाउन होगा. पढ़ना आसान हो गया है ना. बट किंडल में पढ़ना उतना आसान नहीं है फिजिकली. इट इज मोर स्ट्रेनिंग ऑन द आईज. एंड कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन में तो पढ़ ही नहीं सकते. ऐसे बैठ के थोड़ी ऐसे तो पढ़ सकता है. नहीं पढ़ सकता है. तो किंडल में पढ़ सकते हैं. अगर आपके पास किंडल रीडर है तो उसमें पढ़ सकते हैं. लेकिन अगर आपको बुक रीडिंग हैबिट आपका ठीक नहीं है तो आपको फिजिकल बुक से स्टार्ट करना चाहिए एंड सिंपल बुक से स्टार्ट करना चाहिए. फेयरी टेल से स्टार्ट करना चाहिए.
So, sir, what is your proudest accomplishment right till today?
In 2015, I was working with a home textile company. For various reasons, I had to give up that position. When I gave up that position in 2015, I said I don't want to work with an Indian company. Because I'd worked, nothing wrong with it, but I had worked with many Indian companies. I wanted to work with a foreign company. I wanted to work under a different environment. So I said, how do I work for a foreign company? So I wrote to many companies based in Europe, saying that I know your company, I know your brand, I know your products, they're all in the home textile space. I said, please come to India, I will set up your business.
Yes.
Except one, I mean, many companies responded, but one company took it the whole way. And they invested in India based on my saying. They took 2.5 years to make the decision. But I brought that company to India. So if you say that could be that could be a good achievement, where I brought a company to India on my strength.
So there is the quote that you are average of 5 people around you.
अच्छा,
मतलब आपके दोस्तों का और आपकी वाइफ इधर बैठी है, सो आपकी फैमिली का आपकी प्रोफेशनल करियर में क्या इम्पैक्ट है?
अगर मेरी वाइफ,
हम्म,
मेरी मदर,
हम्म,
मेरा बेटा,
हम्म,
my mother-in-law
हम्म,
and a few other friends were not behind me,
हम्म।
तो मैं अपना काम ही नहीं कर पाता। तो ये है मेरे 5-6 लोग
हाँ,
वही है 5-6 लोग।
अगर मुझे कोई नई भाषा सीखनी है, कोई नई आप ज्यादा लैंग्वेजेस जानते हैं, इसलिए मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ कि मैं कैसे एक से ज्यादा लैंग्वेजेस में अपनी पकड़ बना सकता हूँ?
आपके पास इंटरनेट है, आपको कौन सा लैंग्वेज सीखना है? कौन सा लैंग्वेज सीखना है बोलिए?
मैंडरिन।
हाँ,
मैंडरिन।
मैंडरिन सीखना है, डिफिकल्ट लैंग्वेज आप सेलेक्ट कर रहे हो,
हाँ।
ठीक है ना? बट अगर आप मान लो आप मैंडरिन नहीं सिलेक्ट करते हो बिकॉज दैट इज अ डिफिकल्ट लैंग्वेज, बट अगर आप मान लीजिए फ्रेंच सीखना चाहते हो, जर्मन सीखना चाहते हो, स्पेनिश सीखना चाहते हो, आप इंटरनेट में जाओ, लिसन टू जर्मन न्यूज और फ्रेंच न्यूज और स्पेनिश न्यूज एवरी डे, सुबह शाम, आपको आ जाएगा भाषा। बस उतना ही करना है। जब मैं एमएसयू में था, आई वांटेड टू बी एबल टू स्पीक लाइक अ बीबीसी प्रेजेंटर। मेरे पास वो शॉर्टवेव रेडियो था, मैं शॉर्टवेव रेडियो को बीबीसी में लगा के बेड के नीचे रख के सो जाता था, तो वो सारा रात चलता रहता था। ओके, तो आप वो करिए, वो सारा रात नहीं सुनना है, बट दिन में सुबह हाफ एन आवर 40 मिनट, शाम को हाफ एन आवर 40 मिनट टू लिसन टू दैट लैंग्वेज, यू विल ऑटोमेटिकली गेट इट।
You have to fit in subconscious mind.
एक्चुअली यू शुड वॉच द टीवी न्यूज, मतलब उनका जो टीवी चैनल है फ्री में है, इंटरनेट में फ्री है, लिसन, बिकॉज देन यू कैन सी द विजुअल एंड देन हियर व्हाट दे आर स्पीकिंग एंड यू लर्न इट, दैट्स द वे टू लर्न इट। या
During your young age, there is no internet, तो उस टाइम पे फिर आप कैसे लैंग्वेज पे?
जर्मन डिपार्टमेंट है ना एमएस यूनिवर्सिटी में, वहां पे फ्री क्लास चल रहा था, फ्री क्लास में जाके सीखा, फिर वो भूल गया सब कुछ लेकिन सीखा फ्री में।
मतलब एक जगह सोनी।
तो सर, ड्यूरिंग दिस 40 years ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस, तो आप बहुत लो अप्स एंड डाउन्स हुए होंगे लाइफ में, और यू फील ओवरवेल्म्ड और इमोशनल समटाइम्स, so how to regain your focus during this period, sir?
Well, if you run out of money, you will get your focus. Yeah, really, that's the only way to get your focus back, because you need the money. Yeah, how can you lose focus on money? You have to keep focused on money. You have to be focused on money. Yeah, so that is why I told you that you have to have your second income, which comes from not from your profession, but from something else. You have to get it.
As we see your journey 1984 to 2024, so what is the hardest challenges you have ever faced and how do you respond it?
July, whether I gave up my job or lost my job, it doesn't matter, but I didn't have a job from 2015 July. I got my next job in 2017 August, so that is almost little more than 2 years. Okay, I think those were very tough times because I was not going to work. I used to go on long walks. सुबह में 7 बजे जाता था, शाम को सुबह 9 बजे आया, 2 hours long walks. और I used to go for walk in the evening. जब मैं 9 बजे I used to come back from my walk, I used to see people rushing to work. Okay, 9 बजे people used to be rushing to work. I used to be coming back from a leisurely walk. So I used to wonder गलती वो कर रहे हैं, गलती मैं कर रहा हूँ। मेरे को समझ नहीं आता था कि वो लोग रश कर रहे हैं, गलती कर रहे हैं, या मैं रश कर रहा हूँ, वो गलती है। Really, it was a very confusing time. Who's making the mistake? So if you ask me, that was a very confusing time, whether I'm doing the right thing or whether I am not doing the right thing. That was a very confusing time.
Yeah.
So sir, we enter in the last segment, that is rapid fire. So first question is, sir, what is your favorite food? Mysore pak, rasgulla or vada pav?
Do I have to select from this list only?
You can.
Idli sambar.
So sir, best place to work, Middle East or Southeast Asia? Because you have worked at both.
Southeast.
One thing that people don't know about you, sir.
One thing people don't know about me is I'm a good magician.
Okay, sir. So, favorite element of marketing mix, which is your favorite P out of 4?
Product.
Sir, best place to stay, Kolkata, Mumbai or Bengaluru?
Bangalore. Undoubtedly. For anyone in India, Bangalore is the best place. Because nobody can beat our weather. We are 920 meters above sea level. Weather is fantastic throughout the year.
So, sir, which is your favorite, or do you want to always do the mode of communication, one-to-one versus online versus email?
Or one to one.
So, who is your role model, sir?
Role model for business life, for professional life.
Yes.
For business life, it is my ex-boss, Govind Mirchandani. For personal life, it is my wife.
So, what makes you smile the most, sir?
What makes me smile the most?
Your wife is in rooms.
I like writing. Okay, I told you I have a Instagram page which is a cartoon page. So if I can write, sometimes I really become very happy if I am able to write a nice line for the illustration. Yeah, that makes me very happy.
3 things you cannot live without.
3 things I cannot live without. I cannot live without an internet connection. I cannot live without. I cannot live without. I cannot live without my phone, and I cannot live without writing.
So, one professional achievement of yourself that you are most proud of.
It's very difficult to say what single professional achievement that I am proud of, but I am proud of helping some colleagues in some circumstances within my corporate setup. Details I would not like to give, but I've been able to help some people, overcome some kind of a troubled situation in a corporate setup. So those have been very good. Yeah.
Most adventurous things you have done in your life?
Most adventurous things I have done in my life. Most adventurous things is I have studied subjects which I thought I had no idea of, and I made a good success of it. So it is not adventurous like climbing a mountain, but it is still an adventure learning a new subject.
So, define yourself in a one word.
Oh man. One word is I am very inquisitive. Inquisitive. That's one word.
So, sir, which one skill you have learned from your partner that helped you in professional?
Time management.
So, what is something you notice about someone when you meet someone at the very first time?
Well dressed.
So, sir, define LM committee in one word.
Excellent communication.
So, that is also. So, sir, can you share any story behind this clicking of photos that you shared here? Anything that you want to add something? Yeah, this one.
You see, that photo was a photo of Mumbai.
Okay.
That is Kolaba. For those who know Mumbai, that is the US club, the United Services Club. That is the Army Navy club. In Kolaba, that is one end of Mumbai. And this is Walkeshwar, if you know Walkeshwar. So I was able to capture this entire South Bombay from an aircraft as it took off from Mumbai airport. So, I was just lucky I got this shot. It's a little hazy because number one, the aircraft window was not very clean and there was a lot of cloud cover. So through all this, I got this shot. If you Google, you will not get this shot, where the entire South Bombay is in one frame. I love this shot, even though it's not a good, photographically it is not good, but I like this shot.
Next one. So, you share anything about this?
One thing I've followed very passionately is I want to photograph the moon against the plane. A silhouette. You have it here, okay, so we'll come to it. But every full moon, I go to the airport, Bangalore airport, and stand at a vantage point where the planes either take off or land.
Yes, this one.
Yeah, you see this photograph. This is an Indigo plane taking off from Bangalore airport to Patna. I was sitting outside the airport from 4:30 in the morning. Okay? Now, you have to coordinate such a lot of things. Number one, it has to be a full moon day.
Yes.
Number two, it should not be cloudy, because if it's full moon day but cloudy, you cannot shoot it. Number two, the moon must set at 270 degrees west, because that is where the plane takes off from. So I have to go to the internet and see where does the moon set. Even though it's a full moon, where does the... So if the moon sets at 265 degrees, then I can't get this shot. If the moon sets at 280 degrees, I can't get this shot. This moon was setting at 270 degrees. This is the runway. Moon was setting here, and the plane was taking off from here. So many things have to come together to get this shot. So this is one shot I'm very proud of, because I pursued this shot for 4 years. Full moon after full moon I was going for 4 years to get this shot. And I got this shot last week on the 25th, which is a full moon, which was a full moon day.
सर जब आपके बारे में हम रिसर्च कर रहे थे पॉडकास्ट के लिए तो हमने आपकी फेसबुक प्रोफाइल देखी तो ज़्यादातर प्लेन्स और उसके रिलेटेड आपके फोटोज है तो क्यों बचपन से अपने अंदर मतलब हर किसी के अंदर एक छोटा बच्चा रहता है जो प्लेन को देख के खुश होता है सो वो देख के लग रहा है कि यू आर द
या प्लेन एंड ट्रेन अभी भी मैं ट्रेन देखता हूँ ना, मैं खड़े हो जाता हूँ ट्रेन जाने के बाद ही करूँगा रियली बट दिस इज वन आई लव दिस शॉट बिकॉज इट हैड टू बी कोऑर्डिनेटेड द प्लेन हैड टू टेक ऑफ द मून हैड टू कम देयर शुड नॉट बी without a cloud cover, so there were too many factors. Okay.
So now we got the answer of how do you manage your mental. The photography is the answer.
Yeah. You're right.
So,
thank you very much.
Thank you for it.
Okay. And I thank you very much for spending your whole day. My God.